What's happening, friends? Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and economics. Today's video, I'm going to talk about strategies for yield farming in the event that we enter a bear market for crypto. I'm not saying that I necessarily think that we will, but a lot of people are worried right now with Bitcoin dumping a lot the past week. And I just want to talk about some strategies that we can use in the event that the market cools down for a few months to continue to earn some passive income. And by the way, I will say that to me it seems extremely unlikely that we see the sort of bear market that we saw after 2017. I don't do technical analysis on this channel, but for people who are new to the space, remember in 2017 we got to around 20,000 and then dropped all the way to 3,000, and the market didn't really fully heat up again until really the end of 2020 or early 2021. That seems unlikely to me. There weren't the sort of applications that you could actually use back then in DeFi or play to earn games, and you didn't have the sort of corporate and celebrity buy-in that you have now into the crypto space. So it's gone much more mainstream, and there's actually applications that you can use. That being said, over the summer, we did enter a bearish period for a few months, as some of you will likely remember, where we were in the 60s and then we dropped all the way down to around 30,000 and sort of ranged there for a few months. And a lot of altcoins lost 70 to 80% of their value in that time. Not to scare people, but something like that could always happen. And now, fortunately, using DeFi, there's strategies you can use to make that less painful and to actually set yourself up well for the future. Next thing I'll say is that if we do go into that period and you just got into crypto, I'm sincerely sorry because that's happened to me before, and that's not fun. However, bear markets are where riches are made. You don't really change your financial future by buying a coin that's at $40 that then goes to $80. You change your financial future by buying that coin at $4 during a bear market and then getting 20x on it. Over the summer, for example, we were buying Luna at $5 or $6. We were buying AVAX at between $10 and $15. Prices that people would kill for now. I think one of my first videos on this channel was actually talking about the price of Luna pumping up to $15, which and you can just see how far we've come since then. But yeah, so this video I'm going to talk about some strategies for yield farming in the event that we do go into a bear market. Cool. So let's talk about what these strategies are. Yield farming in a bear market. So the first principle is that we want to earn passive income on stablecoins. And so some of you might be thinking, well, why would I hold stablecoins in a bear market? Just put it in. The reason for that is that you don't necessarily know when the bottom is going to be, right? You don't know if maybe Bitcoin is already bottoming at 40,000. You don't know if it's going to go to 30,000. You don't know if it's going to go to 35,000. And the same goes for any sort of altcoins that you're interested in. So the strategy to do is to dollar cost average in over time. So for example, I'm starting to put some of my stablecoins back into the market now. However, I'm doing it over a period of weeks or even months because you don't want to put everything in now and then have it continue to go down, because then you have nothing left to buy the dip, right? And then in the meantime, we want to earn passive income on the stablecoins, and we can invest that passive income. So that's part of our dollar cost average. And yeah, so just to give an example of what you might, one place you might do that, for example, Anchor Protocol built on Terra has been offering 20% APY on UST for almost a year now. And by the way, there are other places you can earn 15, 20% as well. I talk about a lot of them on this channel. Anchor is probably the easiest one to use. But for example, if you have $1,000, $10,000 in stablecoins, you can put it in here, earn 20%, and then just use that yield to buy into new things. And then once you feel comfortable, you can start to move those stablecoins into the market. And I think that one's pretty straightforward. The next principle that I'll be looking at is to earn passive income on blue chips and layer ones. So layer ones and especially layer ones, but even other blue chips have been some of the best performing things since the summer. So I mentioned Luna and AVAX a few minutes ago. Those have both gone 10 to 20x. Even now, they're still up significantly from the summer. Phantom has done phenomenally. Atom is not a layer one; it's more of a layer 0, but Atom has done decently as well. Even Ethereum has been strong. But the nice things about these sorts of projects is that they are unlikely to go away, right? There's a huge team behind Terra, a huge team behind AVAX. They're constantly working on building up that value of that token and building up their ecosystems, and that's not going to stop in the bear market, right? Hopefully, if you work, you're not going to stop going to your job in the bear market. So the safe place to put your holdings during that period is these sort of strong blue chip projects that you can have confidence will still be here in 6 months or a year, and will still be building. And let's talk a bit about what some of those blue chip projects might be. So this, I'm going to say really, for when I consider the blue chips are really just going to be mainly layer ones, layer zeros, and a few other infrastructure plays that are among the largest cryptocurrencies. If you have other things that you have a huge amount of faith in that you'd be comfortable holding for 6 months, through a 50-60% downturn, 70% downturn, then maybe that's a blue chip for you, right? This is just for me. Bitcoin is obviously one. Ethereum is obviously one. Binance Coin. I mean, Binance is even if their chain isn't necessarily the most exciting chain right now, Binance is probably going to be around in 6 months. Solana, of course, Polkadot, one of the strongest teams in crypto, always shipping code. Luna, AVAX, Polygon, Crypto.com, another exchange that's going to be around, right? Crypto.com is going to make money regardless of whether it's a bear market or bull market. Chainlink is going to continue to be the premier oracle, likely. They don't really have any close competitors right now. You could maybe even say Algorand near Atom. I mean, Atom is probably the main coin that I'm invested in right now. Perhaps you like Uniswap and Litecoin as well. I personally am not invested in those two and don't plan to be. Phantom, is getting a little smaller, but is still a layer one. And then you could go down the list here and find some other ones that maybe are layer ones in their respective field, right? Maybe you really like Elrond. That's another layer one, and you believe that they're going to be around. But the point being that for this second category, when I'm looking to preserve wealth while still being invested in crypto, I'm looking at these types of projects. In these, even if they're not microcaps, these will still perform very well by the standards of a normal investment. I mean, if you look at most of them, many of them have done 10, 20x since the summer, even after they've retraced. So that's the second principle. And then the third principle, and this is where you really have the chance to have incredible growth, is using the yield from these first two places to accumulate cryptos with high growth potential. So I think this is probably pretty straightforward, but basically for things that are, riskier and low cap. So for example, ecosystem plays within Phantom or Cosmos, or maybe just some new DeFi project that has a low market cap. Rather than DCAing my new investments directly into that, what I'll be looking to do is to use the yield on stablecoins and on these blue chip projects to accumulate these smaller projects. And oftentimes, I think we'll be able to get yield on some of these things that are 50 to 100%. And then if you imagine that the cryptos with high growth potential end up going 10, 20x, then you're really earning, if you multiply, say, 50 by 10, you're really earning 500% interest, or maybe 1,000% interest, because you're accumulating these things using yield that's basically free anyways. And so that's the strategy that I'll be looking at. And let's go through a quick example on Osmosis, the main DEX on Cosmos, for how we might do that. So let's say first we have our stablecoin portion of our portfolio. Those we'll put on Anchor. We'll be earning 20%. and then we'll send the UST from that over to Osmosis to invest in Cosmos ecosystem. And then additionally, we're going to want to have some blue chip holdings on here. And I would say probably the ones that I'd be looking at on Osmosis. And by the way, I would do this across multiple chains, but just as an example, I might look at Atom, EEUR. EEUR is a EuroPeg stablecoin. So we'd pair it with Atom, which is a blue chip that I like. And I'm earning 80% interest. So that's going to be a very nice return while maintaining exposure to a blue chip with, I think, a lot of growth potential. I might also look at Luna Atom at 33%, two blue chips paired together. And then I would take the yield from that, and I would use it to buy Cosmos ecosystem coins that I like. For example, you might buy AKT, which is a decentralized cloud computing service. Or you might buy Osmo, which is the DEX that we're on right now, and another project that I'm very bullish on. Or you might buy Juno. Juno is a layer 1 built on top of Cosmos that has interoperable smart contracts. And then once you buy those, you can then reinvest them, and in this case, you'd earn 67% interest on that, while continuing to build your position in this low cap gem on Cosmos. Some other places that you might look to earn yield in some of these blue chips is Curve. And by the way, there's going to be a lot of places. Almost every DEX will have some pairs like this. But if you really want to be safe, you might just go to Curve and look at the Tricrypto pool, USDT, BTC, ETH, 20%. So basically, you could dollar cost average into that, and you're getting exposure to BTC and ETH, and then you're earning 20% on it that you can reinvest. Another place I've been using a lot recently is Beethoven X. Beethoven X is a fork of Balancer built on Phantom, and they have pools that are more than 2 cryptos. So for example, their Grand Orchestra pool is Phantom, BTC, and ETH, and you can earn 60% on that. I would feel very comfortable having my DCA into this pool. Another good pool on here would be, they have BTC with USDC is 22%, ETH with USDC is 30%, and then BTC, ETH, and USDC is 26%. So it seems to be slightly better than Curve. And there's going to be a lot of places where you can find opportunities like this, even in a bear market, and I'll be sure to cover them on this channel. That's all I got. That would be my strategy for a bear market. Hopefully we don't go there. But I will say, if you've used the portfolio allocations I talk about on this channel, if you have 20, 30% of your portfolio in stablecoins, then you're in a very good position right now, because that's probably now 40% of your portfolio. And you can use that to start buying up these dips and accumulating these blue chip cryptos at a discounted price. Not financial advice. Still do your own research and be sure to establish your own conviction. That's all I got. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. Until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.